all of us if you came back.
Just go sideways this time.
This is a college classroom. What is happening here is rare today, but by the 21st century, it may be commonplace. This is not undergraduate fun and games, but rather a serious exercise in interpersonal relationships. What kind of a person am I? What kind of a person are you? How can I get to know you better? How can you get to know me better?
One of the things I like about myself is that I'm practical and not really idealistic. If I were idealistic, I don't think I could be as happy with myself or the world I live in.
These groups, called encounter groups, are springing up all over the country, in colleges, communities, adult education classes. The idea behind these groups is this. In a world that is becoming more crowded, more impersonal, more computerized, how can people communicate? How can they learn to love rather than hate?
Each time someone would be in the center, I would think, how can I show that person physically how I feel about him or her? You know, no matter how much you thought about it, it just sort of happened and was there when you...
In the next half hour, we will watch 6 college students try to break the old patterns and learn new ways to relate to themselves and the world outside. What you're going to see in the next half hour is not a curiosity limited to certain oddball colleges. You'll find classes like this at such solid institutions as Texas, Stanford, Rutgers, Ohio University, and MIT. Big impersonal colleges where students may have a hard time breaking the ice. These classes resemble the group therapy used by psychiatrists to treat the mentally ill. But these 6 students are not here because of psychological problems. They are typical students from San Diego colleges who are here because they think this experience will help them to know themselves and others better. There's no doctor or teacher in the group. They take their instructions from audio tapes developed at the Western Behavioral Sciences Institute at La Jolla, California. The full course is 10 sessions. What you will see now are the highlights of 3 of them. Remember, none of these students knew each other before coming to this class.
Will you make that circle smaller until you are sitting close to each other? I'll wait a few seconds for you to do this. Now, to try yourselves out, you might ask yourselves, how do I feel right now? And tell the rest of the group about it.
Well, I feel nervous.
I sort of feel funny that we're getting instructions from a tape recorder. It seems it seems sort of strange to me anyway. Kind of like he doesn't know quite what's going on, and we're sort of in it alone, actually.
When we moved in closer, everybody, when we were sitting out there, everybody was kind of worried, and they were far apart, and then we moved in together, and everybody was close, and they could just kind of associate with everyone else.
Yeah, I like being close, but it frightens me.
Oh, I felt more frightened when we were farther apart.
Well, for me, being close means, in some sense, fighting with somebody. See, that's the first way I seem to come in contact. And I always get nervous before a fight. Does that seem to make any sense?
You can't get close to other people without fighting?
I think it's my first approach, really.
Please stop. Everyone will stand and form a circle. Then, one at a time, each person will move from one group member to another around the circle. Stop in front of each person, look him in the eye, touch him in whatever way he wants to make contact, call him by his name, and tell him as honestly as he can what his impression is of him. Go ahead now.
Would you like me to start?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. John, my first impression of you, I liked you immediately. For some reason, you seemed a little shy at first. And of course, I don't know you at all, but my first impression was that I liked you. And John, I don't think you come on like you think you come on. Because I didn't see you being the way you thought you were. That you immediately get into fights when you first meet people, because you didn't strike me that way at all. You seem more concerned with intellectual thoughts and true meanings of things.
Winky, when I first saw you, I was attracted to you. And after listening to you for a few minutes, I thought you were very intelligent, as Debbie did. I guess those are about the only feelings I have so far. And Greg, I also thought you were shy, introverted, nervous. Maybe it was nervousness because of this, but that was about all I got.
And Sharon, again, I thought you were shy also. You have a very sweet, sweet face. And I think you have sort of Alice in Wonderland eyes, a little bit, like you're sort of wondering about what's all happening, and you sort of want to get right in there, sort of pitch in, but you sort of maybe hold back a little bit.
Please stop and take your seats. You might want to talk about how you felt giving your impressions, or how you felt about touching someone. Sometimes people find this difficult to do. They feel awkward and embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
If that's true for you, try to talk about it.
Why did we all forget touching?
I thought of it the minute you guys did it. We did it once in Dr. Gillette's class. So.
I was scared, I'll say that.
People aren't used to going up to another person, as we did. Stand right there and look them in the eye and tell them things like that.
Well, and touching them, too. I'm still on this touching thing, you know? Because I was figuring when it came around to be my turn, I was gonna do it anyway. And I was figuring I was gonna shake hands with you, and I wanted somehow with Greg on the shoulders. And I wanted, with the girls, I wanted to hold hands like that for some reason. But I was pretty nervous at the thought of all three of them, you know.
And you don't know how the other person's going to feel about it.
Exactly.
You know, don't you want to be sure that the other person is going to have the same kind of feeling before you make the first move?
Right.
One at a time, you should place yourself outside the circle. Your job is to get in. The group's job is to try to keep you out. To try hard to keep you out, while you're trying hard to get in. After you do get in, if you do, you really become part of the circle, part of the group. After all, you worked hard for it, and you've earned it. I'll let you know when the time is up. Go ahead now.
Lock your hands like this.
Like this.
Okay, kind of like
Lock
what?
them like this.
I can see this is not an easy situation.
No. Oh, boy. Where are you going to go once you get in?
Turn the circle on and start.
I know it.
Give them an end.
Oh. You got it. Good job. Oh.
Who's next? Go ahead, Greg.
Here, let me get between you because we're
Yeah,
going to
let's-
John.
Yeah, I have a strong feeling where he's going to live.
Is it really necessary that we have to have physical violence here? I mean, is there no way I can reason with you?
I'm listening.
Yeah, right. Now, see, you've been through it, and you realize, you know, what a hassle it is to kind of work your way in there, you know, and the poor kid's standing out here and he doesn't know what to do, and everybody's just kind of ignoring him and leaving him out there. And I really don't see how it can be that necessary, you know, to have to hassle your way in there when we get together as a group, you know, and we figure, well, here we are, 6 people, and we all got the same problem. And if we let him in really, you know, without even thinking about it, then there's no hassle.
True thing.
Nobody else has to hassle anymore. We got to hassle anyway. I'm not going to do it. I'll just, you know, I'm out of this one. I don't want to hassle it.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay.
No, really.
Well, then I think we ought to let him in.
Well, you can come in here.
We'll let you in then.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Because, see, I really, you know, I don't see any point in hassling like that.
Yeah, I agree. You talked us into it.
Is there any reason to let anybody else out? I mean, everybody realizes what a hassle it is, you know, for the cat that's out.
It's mainly physical.
We'll find out. Why don't you be
No.
out? See what it's like.
I don't want to. Well, okay, I'll try it, but you know, I mean, I'm
Just to
not
see
one
what it's
for
like.
great physical hassling either. I can just see me, you know, shoving my way through here.
How would you do it?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
I haven't tried it yet, but it looks
God, there's no place. Jeez. I can't find the...
Oh, no. It's up to you.
Oh, I've gotten squirted in here.
That was a good try. We have to let her out.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, boy.
Well, who's next?
Okay, guys.
Please stop.
Oh, unfair.
Now, we've had a 10-minute meeting to talk about breaking in. How do you feel as a part of the in-group?
I really didn't mean to type
Or as
this
one of
on.
the out?
It was just a natural reaction.
Take another chance to tune in on yourself and see how you felt about something that happened here. Something that you all shared and that you can learn from together. Go ahead.
One thing that burned me up was this unwillingness to try winking and Greg.
Well, hell, look, you know, the physical difference between us. You have a much better chance of getting into that group than I do. Did the tape specifically say we had to get in physically?
yeah, that's
By
what I was
pushing
Anyway,
everyone out of the way? He got in. But he got in by a different approach. And you seem to resent it.
Once I got in there, was I an equal member with you? Was I on the same status?
Certainly.
Well, then why was it really necessary to force your way in there physically if you can get in, you know, just...
I wanted to force my way in physically.
Yeah, I thought you did because you volunteered first.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't.
You had to get close, and fighting was the easiest way. Right. To begin with. Yeah.
I've never been much of a fighter. I'm always kind of a talker.
Yeah.
And even though I do come across as shy, it's much more of a challenge to me to sit out there, you know, and try and talk my way in than the hassle.
Well, the thing was that hit me when you were talking is you were saying, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, fellas. I don't want to play the game. You know, dissolve your group. And
yeah, but now maybe...
I heard that.
I don't think he was saying that.
No,
I think he was saying, I don't want to play it necessarily by your rules, John. I'm an individual, and I can attempt getting in my own way. And just because you broke in physically doesn't necessarily mean I have to.
It didn't seem to me like it was real, what we were doing. It was for me trying to get in, but I got the feeling it wasn't real for the rest of us. Am I wrong?
Is that because you had a hard time getting in?
Oh, I loved it.
No, I don't mean in this circle. I mean in life.
Yeah, I think so.
Sometimes I've wanted somebody to know that I felt good about him. Not by just...
It's difficult to rip off the mask of a lifetime and express your real feelings without fear of being rejected. The earlier sessions have tried to conquer this fear. Sometimes it has been painful for the group. Now, in the 9th session, the students are given a way to release the appreciation and affection each person has for the others he loves and trusts.
Each of you should go to the center of the circle and stand there. Then, also one at a time, the other group members should go to the person and in whatever way they want, show him the good feelings they have toward him, but without using words. I should like to repeat, without using words. They might want to touch him, put their arm around him, or really embrace and hug him. The person who is receiving the good feelings doesn't return them. You might find this a little embarrassing, but if you're willing to try it, I think you might learn some interesting things about yourself.
Knowing what to say.
I'd like to just sit and say nothing for a minute.
I don't think we have to say anything.
I don't know. I think it would be good to talk about it, though, too.
Yeah.
Not to show any type of affection back. I was clenching my fists, trying to hold him down to my side. It was just awful. I wanted to show something.
It was really frustrating. You sit there and you wanted to return it so bad, but you can't.
It was like just being in a circle of love, that everybody was with you. And what was so beautiful was that we could completely break down those barriers, like girls don't hug other girls and boys don't touch and hug other boys. And to not feel any of that. To not, as a matter of fact, to just know. There have been so many times I've wanted to hug some of my girlfriends, and I've held back. And to be able to express that kind of feeling without worrying about that sort of thing was so beautiful.
I just thinking that so many of my relationships, just to reach out, if they wouldn't feel that it was something wrong with it, that really it makes a whole friendship complete.
I think it's just, I just think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen or been through.
You could just see it on everybody's face, you could see how involved that they were in the whole thing. And I just wanted everybody to be physically involved.
Yeah.
I think that's really what made it, is not just talking to you, but being able to touch you and not being able to talk for a change.
Did you feel that everybody had love for everyone else?
Did I?
I felt like I was loving everyone.
What you have just seen may fill you with hope or with doubt. It worked for these 6 students. Similar programs have worked for husbands and wives, ministers and their parishioners, policemen and ghetto residents, space scientists. And for some groups it has not worked at all. As a matter of fact, some have warned that there may be hidden dangers in the technique. You may shudder when you imagine trying this with 6 people from your office. By the 21st century, many believe this too will come to pass.